What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. You're looking at the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument. The most recent data, you're going to see a CME come off the left side of the sun right here. And if we look closer, you're going to see it's chasing an object moving across the screen from right to left. We're going to come back and take a closer look at that object here in just a moment, because all of my sky maps indicate that that object should not be there. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos, and from all around the world. But first, over here at the website, I'd like to give a birthday shout out to Taryn Jade P, Brandon C, Connie A, Dakota H, Haley M, and Stephen E. Birthdays today, April 24th of 2022. Quick look at the Schumann resonance. Last 24 to 48 hours, pretty quiet. No major spikes in the Schumann data. Looking at the GOES X-ray flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center, you can see a solar flare in progress right now as I'm doing this video. It's been steadily climbing for the last 10 minutes. We'll have to see where that ends up. But right now, there is indeed a solar flare in progress. I wanted to revisit the seismographs that we touched on yesterday, how we saw some anomalies on some of the seismographs across North America and various places around the world. There are still some anomalies, but not quite as extreme as what we saw yesterday. Those can be caused from a wide variety of reasons, not just necessarily earthquakes. See these all the time. Sometimes they don't have an explanation, though. I admit they are a little bit bizarre, kind of like you see right here up in Connecticut. You've got a seismograph that those are not earthquake signatures, but they can be caused by vehicles that may be nearby if they're near a busy road, which would kind of be counterproductive if they were positioned near a busy road. But things like lightning, even very strong wind, can be detected on seismographs from time to time. It's rare, but it does happen. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. No earthquake activity today. We did see some over here yesterday, but today, pretty quiet, a little bit of magma intrusion, but no earthquakes at the supervolcano caldera. However, there is a rare earthquake I wanted to mention. I meant to bring this up in yesterday's video. I'll talk about it today, a 5.1 at the 82-degree north latitude. I mean, that is literally on top of the world, way up here. Talk about out of bounds. That is something that you don't see very often. Right up here is where that earthquake occurred, at the very northern tip of Greenland, and there's no fault lines up there. 82-degree north latitude, a very shallow 5.1 magnitude earthquake that occurred on April 21st of 2022. Wanted to show you guys the sunspots that have been producing some of these solar flares that we've been seeing. Photos sent in by the Flipster out of Ormond Beach, Florida. This photo was taken yesterday, and here's a look at the sunspot complex. There are multiple sunspots making up multiple active regions across the Earth-facing side of the sun. Good photo there by the Flipster out of Ormond Beach, Florida. Want to go back up to the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument. You're going to see an object right here moving from right to left. All of the other points of light that you see in the instrument's field of view are moving from left to right. They're typically background stars or planets. This object here is below the sun, which means it puts it below the ecliptic plane. Looking at the sky map, the green line represents the ecliptic plane. Mercury, just to rule out Mercury, is above that green line, which puts it above the ecliptic plane. Venus is over here to the far right, and it's not visible in the field of view of the LASCO C3 or 2 instrument for that matter. So it's not Venus. It should not be Mercury, as it's well below the ecliptic plane. We're going to take a closer look at this object as it's being chased through the solar system by a large CME. Check this out. You're going to see it right there come off of the eastern limb of the sun. And we're going to go in now and take a closer look at this object. Can't really see any details. We see a point of light that's moving rather quickly across the field of view from right to left. Everything else is moving from left to right. I do go in pretty tight on this object. You can see the CME was on the heels of this thing moving through the inner solar system right there. Check it out. See it? Kind of hard to miss once you find it right there. Notice everything else is moving left to right. It is moving from right to left. And as we looked at the sky map, you can see Venus would be over here to the far right if it was in the field of view, but it's not. It's well beyond the field of view of the spacecraft that is looking at the sun from back here. Mercury's over here on the far left. It too is out of the field of view according to this map. and above that green line, which puts it above the ecliptic plane. The object that we're looking at from the SOHO instrument is below the ecliptic plane, so it should not be Mercury. I don't know what this object is, but it's definitely moving from right to left across the screen. Here's Mercury according to the sky map. This is today's sky map, and you can clearly see that Mercury, if it were in the field of view, would be up in here somewhere, not down here. Here's this object, again, moving very quickly from right to left, so it's some sort of a mysterious object. You don't normally see things like that from this spacecraft's perspective. Mercury is moving upward right now, in fact, not downward. If you look at this object, and I'm going to speed it up here in just a moment, you're going to see that it's trending in a downward trajectory. It's moving down, not up. Mercury's moving up, and this object's moving down. So I think I've ruled out Mercury. Sometimes Mercury can be tricky. This is not Mercury. This is an unknown object moving through the inner solar system. Pretty good size. I mean, it's the size of at least a small planet. You know, it's a few hundred miles wide at the very least. Moving through the inner solar system, doesn't appear to be reflecting much sunlight at all. It's pretty dim, but it's pretty decent size, whatever it may be. Here it is in a negative format. Light is dark, dark is light, and right there's the object moving away from the sun. Here it is in fast forward, and you can kind of tell, see how it's moving in a downward motion? It's going like this. That's why I put it in fast forward. Sometimes fast forward makes these things easier to see, even points of light in the nighttime sky. See how it's kind of going in a downward motion? These are enhanced formats, just little sections of the video from the SOHO spacecraft. Very unusual object. You don't, again, see things like this very often. You see comets every once in a while. Obviously, the inner planets, Mercury and Venus from time to time. Jupiter in the background will show up, but you don't normally see things like that. That is a rare observation showing up over here on the SOHO LASCO C3 instrument. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos, sent from all around the world. Maybe what showed up in the SOHO spacecraft's field of view was this object right here that was noticed by Mary Hall from the International Space Station. Get a load of that. Looks almost identical, except it's brighter than the object in the SOHO field of view. That was noticed by Mary Hall from the International Space Station. Another video of a meteor sent in by Ken G out of Trenton, Florida. That's the third one he's detected from his outdoor security camera looking in the same direction. Photo here sent in by Chisala out of Kennewick, Washington, of a very intense jumbo halo high in the sky around the sun, visible from Washington. Mount Rainier from Washington. Photos sent in by Karen of what looks like the shape of an airplane hovering above Mount Rainier. Unusual cloud formation noticed by Karen from Washington. Photo here sent in by Linda out of Knoxville, Tennessee. What looks like a horseshoe in the sky. No clouds anywhere, but you do see what looks like a horseshoe in the sky. That's what compelled her to take the photograph. Beautiful northern lights sent in by Tasia W. from the Northwestern Territories of Canada. These are from a few days back, but those are absolutely spectacular. Some of the finest ones I think I've ever seen. Excellent job, guys. Keep the photos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.